Hello everyone, welcome. This is a presentation of how police stations do help a crime spiral, and more importantly, what the hell is a crime spiral. Let's dive really deep into it because and it will be fast. This is the end of my Czech series, current, it's a season 2, and how a crime spiral works. You can see it easily in Economy and Trade tab, Crime and Justice. Let's pause the game, so we are not disturbed. The problem is, when you pick, for example, last year, you can see reported crimes, that are all crimes happened in your republic, minor crimes, medium and serious. And you can see they can be in some ratios. The more serious crimes you have, the more serious is your problem. And then you have these stats. Ideally, they are all 0. They usually are not when you are in a crime spiral. Police did not come to crime scene mean that there is no vehicle, there is no situation when police vehicle have been coming. As you can see, I did have it in the first half of this year, because we were testing, I think, so police stations would at least be able to manage. So all police stations were like this, with one car only. As you can see, even that is not enough. They are not managing to go through all tasks, but they are not overcrowded. And it's definitely one of the solutions. You can see it also in B. Balch's tutorial, how to deal with a crime spiral. He has been doing it, he has done it multiple times. Then you have police. The police did not investigate crime. That's the thing, because as you can see, for example, these two, they definitely do not investigate. And when I press play, these minor crimes have pretty fast limitations. They are fast to investigate, but also, they are fast to let go. When limitations hit 100%, crime has not been solved. And it probably jumped this number, I haven't been looking. But you might rewind and see it for yourself. This means police did not investigate the crime. There's also a third option: court did not issue a verdict. Because when you have crimes and they successfully come through a police station, you might even, get them to court. But they get to court with the same limitation they did have before. I have 3 courts. This is a small one. This is a large one. It seems okay-ish. This probably will be tough, because serious crimes with zero trials, they have managed to be gotten here like this, but they still have a pretty okay chance even in a small court. This further back will probably be a little harder, but still they are okay. But whenever this limitation will go above trial, you are pretty doomed. Now, what did I mean that police stations actively are participating in a crime spiral? Because whenever, things like these happen, they will grow the possibility of the person, doing another crime. What is the problem with crime spiral is that when you look at people, citizens living, and on crimes, we can press 3000 meter and simply show it really down. You can see it that these houses are all above 10%. 10% is a threshold at which point house will start screaming too much criminals, and you will start getting debuffs. As you can see, there's also the crime that's basically a top scoring 5,415 cases this year. These are combined of when crimes did happen, or where crimes happen, and also that, people getting unhappy due to living with criminals and at the same house, which is not ideal. The problem is when people are sad, you have a low happiness. They have low productivity as well. As you can see, average productivity. Some people go to 30%. Some not, some are high enough, okay-ish. But lots of people are at 30%, so they are not working like they would work on 8-hour shift, but their output is like, 2.5 hours. Like it would be from 2.5 hours with, maximum productivity. It's not acceptable, not great, but well, that's what it is. Predivision started battling things because it worked also with, police stations. So when you have a lot of criminals, your police stations were also under effective. Now the same with courts and prisons. Now all prisons, courts and police stations, they have minimum productivity per worker of 70%. At least they try to code it that way. I wasn't experimenting long enough. It means it's good because even despite low wardens' happiness and productivity, these guys are still able to do over 70% or over productivity, which means that even with this ratio you are kind of okay with lowering the crime level of people inside the prison. It would be much better if it would be higher value. For example, in this prison, well, it used to be better in this prison. Now there are too few people. But when they would get in, it could easily go. It did easily gotten over like 2-3%, which is okay in normal prison. Now it's not working, sadly. But that's it, and that's about crime rating. When you have low productivity, nothing is working. Nothing is working as good as it should be, including heating plants, electric plants, power plants. It's a circle in its own. What would you expect is that you would expect that police stations would try to get to court as many people as possible. They do not. When you're not doing things like these, because it obviously results in those cases with not enough crime patrols, not enough patrolled crimes, you can fill the station to the brim with 4 full police cars. But as you can see, those cars can bring a lot of cases. And the station is not able to go through all of those. And let me show you something. And I will then, make it faster. But let's just kill most of these cases. We do not need all of them. But every car will bring up to 2 cases. One it will bring from where it currently was, and when it reaches there, and the second one from the same place it will bring when it reaches back to the station. So now let's leave with these. You can see we have pretty high chances to solve. We have some limitations, and just to make it sure, the staff of this office will look like this most of the time, because they are in the middle of housing. They have dedicated, worker with high education. There's a lot of workers around living as well. So they will be almost always stuffed like this. So that it's just for you. And now let's go faster. As we press them, they start working on first. It's usually around 13 cases this station. We can pause 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Those are 13 cases. We can, kind of zoom in. And I will just press, I will just put a mouse next to it, so you can see they are working on all. Obviously, these cars are able to bring more cases than the station can handle. Now watch for a few things. Minor crimes have fastest investigation, but also fastest limitation counter. So it means their chance to solve goes lower the fastest. Medium crimes are somewhere in the middle. Serious crimes takes ages to resolve. But also their limitation counter goes quite slowly. So the chance to solve drops the lowest. What is the problem is that when you get, I don't want to say slightly overwhelmed, this is a pretty overwhelmed station, but things can happen. You can have a drop down due to earthquakes. For example, on this save, you haven't seen it, but in one earthquake I got insta demolished of 2 big supermarkets and 1 police station. So not only it did kill pretty serious amount of workers, it did also, you know, did not raise the mood in the city for quite some time. And yes, I didn't load autosave. Autosaves are for weak or when it would really kill the Republic, not when it would, you know, make it an interesting challenge. But yes, on the other hand, in this save we've been fighting for quite some time with money and also with the amount of higher educated people. We are still about 22-23% where we have always been, but we didn't manage too much to get to higher numbers, which is going to get seen. Now, all of these cases as we are running, as you can see, well, it's a normal station. They are working on top 15 cases and everything's fine. Yeah, for now. As long as the top side will get filled at least slightly with red cases, with serious crimes, the station will start preferring cases with a higher chance to solve. It starts around, you know, 40%, 50 to 40%, and it will happen quite soon, as you can see, because those red cases and, you know, even some yellow at the top, they will definitely stay. Also, what you can watch in the meantime is this minor crime. They somehow do not give it enough credit, and the limitation is going almost, you know, faster than the investigation. So the chance to solve did get pretty low. Now they have finally getting through investigation, but I'm not sure that the court will have enough time to get this in time. And as you can see, now we have our first winner, and that's this one. This is the first case that got skipped. What I've been telling, and I'm trying to push, and even by, you know, publishing this video, we should be able to have stations for only minor crimes or minor and medium, or, you know, all, if you would like to. But whenever you got into this situation, and it doesn't matter that you have 30 or 60 cases, none of this, which is below, matters anymore, because nobody will be able to get to it. But as you can see, the police stations will ignore a lot of minor crimes to work only on few serious ones. Especially in starting crime spirals, this is a massive problem. I will just move this here and I will show you the start of my crime spiral. Let's press last year and lock years. So we are moving about whole years. Now let's go to, for example, year 73. That was the year where it all started, or almost all started. We had problems with, you know, police not investigating, so we built another station. Now suddenly the small court wasn't able to, you know, cope with it. It got worse, and even worse, and even worse. This is the point I started building, you know, a secondary court. So now it's not this, but in the meantime it grew for quite a lot. he still wasn't okay with money, because we still are, around, 10 to 50,000. But we managed to get coordinate issue verdict down. In the meantime, this thing jumped to 65%. And the reason is this. The reason is not only, slightly not enough higher education worker, because at that point I was starting building a lot of stations, but all those stations got overwhelmed like this. And also there were some cases of, low satisfaction, low happiness, and so on. So it went like that. Then it started also affecting cores, because we did have really low bills. Even more stations were built, as you can see, but it did not happen. It did not help, because simply they were not able to get through with almost any cases. So yeah, the number of reported crimes grew each year. The percentage of serious crimes grew as well, because most of those minor and medium offenders, they got away with it. And now their crimes were serious, because their next crimes were usually, serious. And, well, what can you do? They take ages to solve. And I'm not saying I did my best. I did the best what could have been done, but I tried pretty hard for quite some years. But the overall growing number did confuse me for quite a lot. And that's it. That's what I think could and should have been changed. Because now you can see this case is, it will be, it's almost lost, because before they will be even able to finish investigation, the limitation will be so low that they will not be able to go through. This one, there has been something invested, but it's definitely not enough to solve. All of these were skipped, so the next time they will turn to medium crimes. Or, another few minor crimes in faster sequence, but hey, nobody will be able to go through anymore. And you can see, yeah, there are, too many criminals and so on. That's what those messages are for. But as you can see, the only thing that police stations are ever doing from now on, what this station will be doing, is to focus on only serious crimes. And for now it's some medium, but soon these will be dropped as well. Some of those at least. And as you can see, they are currently working on this one. But all of this, all of these greens, they will go away. And we got a lot of stations. We can look at this one as well. The station you are ending on looks like this then. This is due to test. We just fill this with vehicles. You are going like this. We can pause the game. Yeah, this is also quite a full station. But you have things that have 55% investigation, limitations going over the roof. 57, 84, 36. And these are levels that they definitely should have been able to solve these. At least, this one and these two. But they have abandoned them halfway through. Which is happening, and it will happen, with these crimes as well. It's a biggest no-no for me. There are quite a few solutions to this. It doesn't matter for me which ones will be taken care of, but let me go with few of these, and we can pick a model building for it when I will be able to find it, and that's this thing, vehicle repair station. In vehicle repair station, there are these icons, and basically they are telling you which vehicles, which types of vehicles these guys are going to repair, and will at least try to repair. They will allow. So you can go with, no planes, no ships, you're too small, no helicopters. You can also go with, no trams and no metro, no personal cars, or you can ask personal cars. It's all up to you. Yeah, this is locomotive and road vehicles. You can pick which you want. A station for example, only minor crimes would solve this issue, because these guys, they are, as you can see, they are fed. They are too fed with, medium and serious crimes. None of those medium crimes are ever going to get solved as well, because they have too low chance to solve. Because they got filled at one point, and they will just go through before, anything of this will be worked again. And, these green guys at the bottom, they have no chance. This one has a chance, at least in theory. But also, we have quite a low productivity. It's 70%, and not full station is still not enough. And yeah, we have a problem with people, because now, it's getting winter and all of this is falling apart for now. It has not been falling apart previous year this much. Because we have, prisoners working everywhere, you can work them even in heating plants and so on. So they were okay. Now it's temperature in buildings so low. So let's pause this. But let us have police station only for minor crimes. Also for only medium crimes. Or, just switch through. Why? Because you have also things in game like this one. This is a small police station for maximum 8 police staff and 10 officers. This is one of the most useless buildings in the game, because in larger city they will be able to overwhelm themselves even with one car. There's almost no point to build this thing. Now it would make sense. Now it would make sense to build it, because, minor crimes, they are easy to solve. Also, allow us the opposite side. Allow us to click and have police stations only for serious crimes. Why? That's basically a criminal police. That's what it's doing in real life. Because they will have time for this. You can have, higher staff. Also, for less cases. Again, another option, another tip is have a tick box, and that also, is present, for example, in the repair station. You can see it here. It's maximum number of workers per vehicle. You can have minimum number of, officers or, judges per case. So when you have, 24 of 40, you can just, maximum number of cases worked on 10. And, they will be able to get faster through them. Another idea is, that comes from, for universities, because you have them in universities, and that's, this button, prefer students according to education. So you can have prefer cases based on level of investigation. In other words, prefer finishing cases, despite limitations. Now, imagine combining those two. For example, I told you that, they are going through, let's say, 15 cases, or 13 cases in one. Set them to 8 cases, and set them to prefer investigation levels. I'm not saying they will go through all of those, but let me bloody tell, they will go through like 2 to 3 times amount of all crimes. Why? Because they'll be able to get through them. Let these guys work on medium and serious crimes, and then open the small station and set it only for minor crimes. It will go to minor crimes only. The game knows which crimes are which. So no minor crimes will get brought here. And by simply doing these things, your success rate of investigation, of case investigated, goes through the roof. Goes to basically like double. Because the way it is set now, and that's what I would like to what I would like anyone to take from this. The way these things are set now, they are favor only serious crimes. You have no way to no way to get to. And once it gets, you know, a bit overloaded, you have a recipe for recurring crimes without punishment, without anything. And in this game, as well as in real life, prevention, which now happens with, you know, minor crimes and their solution, prevention is much better than solving it. And yes, your prevention can be building enough police stations, but when you forget to adjust in time, be it police stations or courthouses, you should have a way out, in my opinion. It might be painful, it might be a long way, sure. But this thing actively hurts you. And I don't think it's good. Let me know in the comments what do you think. Have a nice day. And if you have any other ideas, sure, post them. But for now, take care. And see you, maybe in normal series, maybe in another things as well. Bye bye.